September 27th, 2025, Figologist here. Here we have LSU Tiger. This is third year in ground in a pretty favorable spot, like pretty much full south facing sun. And I tasted the Breba, which wasn't really supposed to do much earlier this year. It was super sweet. And then I'm out here, so we're going to try the Maine. You can see how this thing is super ready. There's another one down here, and these are pretty tiny, so I'm going to take a couple off so my family can choose one of them. But let's go taste LSU Tiger Main Crop, Oregon Zone 9A, September 27th, 2025.
Here's a professionally made but unnecessary intro. So let's talk about figs. Let's talk about figs.
All right, well, let's take a look at LSU Tiger. Now, a couple things. I think it's important to understand that this fig grown in my climate is very likely to behave very differently than if it were grown in the South, like where LSU's front, like where they are. These figs are really great for humid environments. They're pretty split resistant. They are, this particular tree is very productive. And so, I just picked 4 or 5 figs off of this tree. They're all pretty small. And I have a couple of trees that just really want to grow foliage rather than grow fruit. And LSU Tiger for me is one of those. Violet Dauphine is another one. And one of my Ronde de Bordeaux is like that. And so I am doing mid-season pruning, like taking down 4 or 5 feet of growth to force them to fruit. So just keep that in mind that, I caution people of thinking that, these figs are going to perform the same everywhere, and they really aren't. So, tie-dye, these are dried a little bit on the tree. And again, some people in my area were really dubious about whether or not this would ever ripen here. First one's 13 grams. Second one is 19.5 grams. It does drop Breba. Now, this is a third year in ground, so I don't know whether that will change as the tree gets older. Last year, I had a ton of Maine that didn't ripen. So I think a combination of this being 1 year older and our temperature this year just being immaculate definitely helped. So let's take a look and see what we've got here. When I tasted, if you go back and watch the Breba tasting of this thing, it was like crazy sweet. Now these are acting weird. So let's line them up for the picture. So, I mean, they're pretty. They just feel a little brawny on the outside, like tough almost. These are going to be for me. I have 3 or 4 more for the family. I tried to give them ones that were better samples, but let's just take a look at what the Brix is on this one. Let's see, hold on. Yeah, I'll guess this one because I'm so good at that. And then I'll just measure the second one because I don't want to do 2 tasting jingles. You guys are probably sick of that song already. Okay, so that's loaded. Let's take a taste of LSU Tiger Main Crop, September 27, 2025.
Nobody wants to hear gross sounding fig chewing into a microphone.
All right, let's do the Brix. I'm going to put this at 22.3. Wow, okay. It's really, really sweet. And I think, again, this is because it dried. But the Breba one from earlier, I think, if I recall, that measured at 26. So let's load the other one. I mean, this thing is like pasty, so it definitely dried on the tree. Um, it's almost sicky sweet. Let's see what this one shows. Ah, sorry if it's too bright, it doesn't work. Or maybe if it's too thick, it doesn't work. Wow. Okay. Um, I'm gonna speed through this tasting so you don't have to listen to it, but no song. So, um, it's just it's super sweet. There's a little bit of berry, but this is a sugar fig. That's all it is a straight sugar fig. I mean, a little bit of berry, maybe a little bit of melon. No seed crunch at all, but the skin is so chewy. It is the chewiest fig I've ever tasted before. Some people like that. I do like that. This was like if you had a shiitake mushroom and you like cooked it and cooked it and cooked it, and it desiccates in the pan. Um, it's that chew of a shiitake mushroom. Best way I can describe it. Um, Very thick, pasty in a good way, and I I mean it's enjoyable. If you like sugar figs, great option. This particular tree has 75 fruit on it, so I mean that's cool. If they all ripen, that's awesome. It's extremely productive. My plan was to use a lot of this as rootstock for next year because it's such a productive, like it's such a robust grower. Um, you know, it's nice. It's a nice option. Is it good for the Pacific Northwest in ground? I don't know. I don't think anybody really puts these in the ground up here. I just did it 3 years ago because I didn't know any better. Um, it's pleasant to have, so I'm happy I have it. Go out and try it. If you were at the One Green World tasting, I brought some there to try. So if you had a chance to try it, you know what it's like. It's so sweet. I think even the ones that wouldn't be dried are so sweet, but delicious. Um, yeah, get out there, try more figs, see what you think. See y'all later.